employees, or advertisers of this radio station. And now it's time to find out what's in store for us today. From Dr. Dan Drehas, Dr. Dan the Animal Man, brought to you by the Riverside Animal Hospital in Muscatine.
We are here. This is Dr. Dan, the Animal Man, the prodigal son, prodigal, the DVM, prodigal vet, whatever you want to call me. It's been 6-8 weeks or so, I guess, since I've actually been on live with everybody. So good morning, Muscatine. This is Dr. Dan, the Animal Man, coming to you from Riverside Animal Hospital, your laser surgery center, your dental center, because today I know we touch on this topic often through the year because, quite honestly, it is the #1 disease of animals, close to obesity, but as a dental disease. And we're going to kind of highlight some things and reiterate some things you've heard probably before on the show, as well as pull out the guitar after the break. But many people already know. If you talk to your veterinarian, if you talk to us, if you listen, we'll have stuff up on our website and our Facebook shortly this afternoon. But February is National Pet Dental Health Month. It always is, always has been. So if you've had your dog, your cat, you probably have heard of it before. So we're going to talk about some dental health, some deals coming on, some promotions, and things we can do to help your dog live a happier, longer life, which is our motto at Riverside. So if you have any questions, some text to 638-8600. Jordan and I are waiting. He's poised over the phone, over the. No, well, he'll wait for that. So if you have any questions about your smelly mouth of your dog or the painful of your cat or anything that has nothing to do with it, you can talk about anything. I throw me for a loop here. I'm always take a challenge.
Hey, Doc, Tim Scott here. Do you do anything with human teeth at all?
Not legally.
Okay. I'll call you later.
I'm more than happy to tell you have bad breath.
I'll call you after 5.
I actually have a feeling I need a refill, as a matter of fact, so I don't know if I can do that myself. So halitosis, yes. Woo, I'm glad you left. No, just kidding. But halitosis is probably the biggest thing that trips you off to you having dental disease because it's not normal to have stinky breath. Now, unless they just eat a cow pie or something, right? Maybe, or something rotten. But normally bad smell coming from the mouth is not a healthy thing. That's usually the earliest signs of dental disease. And so if look at your dog's mouth, look at your cat's mouth, and if you're smelling that, ironically, we as owners, we tend not to notice, not to look too closely because it's the back teeth. It's the ones that are behind the lips. If you're looking on the YouTube, I'm pulling my lip back, and it's the teeth back there, the molars, the premolars. Your saliva ducts come down where your upper fourth premolar, which is the biggest tooth in the mouth, your biggest chawing tooth. Your saliva ducts empty right over there, which is a good design. You can't feel your ducts; it just kind of empties right there. So
could you see me?
I saw George going,
looking around,
sticking his tongue up there, going, "I don't feel it, Doc." It's just a little empty thing, Now, if you do feel it, you probably have a problem. But your saliva ducts empty right there, and because you need saliva as you're chewing to mix with the food to do all the things that saliva does with your food. But in the saliva is your calcium salts, which is part of your tartar, which is why you start building up kind of in the back part of the teeth. And that's where sometimes the halitosis and the periodontal disease begins. Unfortunately, or the saddest thing is, because that's where it dumps on your biggest teeth, that's the one you want to keep. Well, you want to keep all of them, don't get me wrong. That's your big chawing teeth, your big chewing for the dogs and the cats. These are front teeth for tearing and ripping and chewing their hair when they get allergies, but they need the back teeth to really chew their food. And with the smell and the periodontal disease, which I'll get into in a second, that's where it starts. And we want to keep those, and you got to look at those, you got to see those. And if you're doing things, we have to prevent the tartar way back on those back teeth. So if they're smiling at you, and you say, yeah, but I look at my teeth of the dogs, and they look good because you look at the front incisors and the canine teeth, you got to look back in the mouth. Yeah. So look back there further. And what periodontal disease is, which is, again, the number one disease of animals. And we tend to, like I say, ignore those. We don't think about that. And it's funny, we kind of, I want to say roll our eyes, but we kind of are confused by the owners where if they smell a stinky ear or see a little scab on their belly or something a little minor between the toes, they're, we got to go to the vet and get that taken care of right away. But they'll have 10 times the infection in their mouth and kind of ignore that or not want to get that clean, get that infection, get those teeth in healthy, because they don't realize that little infection in the ear, or sometimes there's serious infections in the ears, but that little scab, that little pustule, that little whatever is really minor compared to really the disease in the mouth, that if we get that under control with dental cleanings, with home brushing and home care, we can actually extend the life and make your dog or cat much more comfortable than that other outside thing that we see. With our lips holding their mouth, what we see doesn't hurt us, unfortunately, is not true with the mouth and the dogs and the cats. So now's the time. I'll wait for you. Go ahead and, TikTok, check your dog's mouth, your cat's mouth. Okay, you got that? So that's why at least once a year we have this National Pet Dental Healthcare Month in February. To try to at least make the awareness of that. Right now, if you're a Googler, meaning you don't want Dr. Google, we want Googling the things that your veterinarian recommends. Well, the AVMA, the American Veterinary Medical Association, if you Google Pet Dental Health Month or Pet Dental or Dental Month and go into the AVMA website, that's promoted and supported by our profession. There's a great article now. It's probably been out for a few weeks, but the front page or on their Pet Dental Health Month tab, there's some great information on that. And I'm going to put some links on Riverside's and our Facebook to that, and I'm going to talk about a couple of those right now. But they talk about some things, and they have some great YouTubes. They have some great videos and audios and photos and explanations, some things. Well, the one I want to post, and the one I encourage everybody to see, and again, I'm going to put a link on our Facebook this afternoon, as well as our Riverside Animal Hospital website. And the great one is if you go under watch, they say, hey, watch, and then have a couple ideas. Periodontal disease. They also have one on brushing your dog's teeth, which is really good too. But the periodontal disease one is just a 2-3 minute YouTube from a veterinary dentist, a board certified veterinary dentist. It shows the periodontal disease, what's happening, and what we can do to help prevent that. And it's a great, as far as a very short synopsis from an expert in the field, a true expert in the field on some of this dental disease and stuff like that. So it's a great one. There's a bunch of them. That just proves that whole thing. I encourage everybody. There's another one under the watch where it's the brushing the teeth and talks about some other things that I'm going to talk about here too. So great reference to the website. Another good website, again, AVMA, if you didn't get your pen fast enough, jot that down, AVMA, the vet website, under Pet Dental Health Month. Also, VOHC stands for Veterinary Oral Health Council. We have it linked on our Riverside website, so we have a VOHC link there too. But this is an official website, like the housekeeping seal of approval website for some of those products you may be getting over the counter to try to reduce the tartar. There's a lot of products out there that are just snake oil and bat piss and bee venom, whatever you want to call that. Yeah. That's it for your dog's mouth to help it. Well, if it's got this seal stamp of approval that says VOHC on it, you know that they've gone through the testing, they've gone through the regulations or whatever through this health council and have proven that this product really does reduce tartar. So believe in that. Anything with that or what your veterinarian has is your go-to. Going to your big box stores or your cheap discount stores and saying, I just went to the pet counter and got something that says, hey, great for my dog's teeth. Because there's a lot of products, which I won't name by name, that have been out there for years that have the little doggy with a smiley face with the little sparkle. Yeah, I claim BS on that. And since this came out, you have a site that you can look at and go, hey, next time if I'm not going to go to my vet to get something, at least check this site out. It's great. When they first started, I think in 1998 is when they started putting these things out. And right off the bat, Hill's Science Diet TD, which is a chewable diet that scrapes your teeth. So when they're chewing, it scrapes up where I just mentioned earlier, does a great job. Greenies, Oravet Chews, there's a lot of ones that you will recognize. And we at Riverside, we talked about the Christmas gift, the Oravet Chews. We really do like that one. It's got a couple extra things in there, and they have that VOHC seal of approval. Give them one of these every other day. So I'm going to talk about that toward the end of the show as far as doing some things we can really help out with our teeth. So, periodontal disease. I'm going to talk about disease real quick. We'll take a break, sing a song, and talk about some of the promotion stuff. So, since we're getting close to the halftime here. So the periodontal disease, by the way, just to let you know, when Dr. Dan says, disease, it's not like the cavities of us and humans. We were about cavities in the pockets, like I said, I had a feeling it fell out. Well, periodontal disease, periodontal, around the tooth, what happens is, and it shows in that awesome YouTube from the AVMA website, you get that infection of the tartar, and the bacteria works down the tooth and kind of works down the gum line. So what you see, the tartar, isn't really what's getting you. It's causing it, but it's as it works its way and kind of weasels and squeezes its way in the crevice of your gums, it starts working down. It starts tearing apart what we call the periodontal ligament and the cementum and the bone. Those are all part of the periodontum, as well as the gums. Those four structures, they start eroding, and it's like digging away at the foundation of your house, and all of a sudden you start seeing your basement wall, then the sub-basement, and next thing you know, the basement wall isn't being supported by the dirt, the grass, all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, that tooth gets wobbly, gets bone infection. That infection gets not just into the pocket, it actually gets into the bone, which leads to your heart, your kidneys, and your liver, which we've talked about in the past. It leads to other diseases around the body. Not only that, but you're losing your tooth. And then we have to take that out, and now your dog, instead of having a bunch of teeth, has a lot less teeth. And then we like a big smile on our dog's teeth, and of course, it causes a smell. So that's what we're worried about, is that periodontal disease, which is very much more prevalent in the animal, or prevalent in the animals versus the human. So we're trying to prevent that periodontal disease, and now is the time for the awareness to take care of those teeth and get some discussion with your veterinarian. You can get a hold of us at Riverside, which I'll talk about in a couple minutes, to see if we can start addressing this and get some routine care to save those dogs' teeth, save those cats' teeth, and help them live a longer, happier life. Let's go ahead and it's 1:45. Let's take that break real quick while I grab my guitar and get ready for a song and talk about some more promotions and what we can do. We'll be back.
Are you missing a tooth and wish you could have it back? Or do you have loose dentures or loose partial dentures? An implant can get your missing tooth back, and you can brush and floss like any other tooth. Implants can also help your dentures or partial dentures fit securely without the goop. Gentle Family Dentist is the only dental office in Muscatine with 3D cone beam combined with CEREC technology, where they can design a beautiful new tooth in your missing space. Call Gentle Family Dentist today if you would like to see if you are a good candidate for an implant, and they will take a 3D cone beam for free, a $375 value. Call them today.
Here's a look at your forecast from the KWPC AM 860 and FM 95.1 Weather Center.
A winter weather advisory continues this morning with some areas of freezing drizzle early on, as we otherwise stay with cloudy skies through the day today. Highs will stay in the mid-30s with southwest winds 5 to 15. Tonight, with cloudy skies, will fall to 22. That will see lingering clouds and some breaks of sun Wednesday, with a high up in the low 30s with a light northeast wind. Mid-20s Wednesday night. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Frombley. Right now, 28.
Welcome back to Dr. Dan the Animal Man, presented by the Riverside Animal Hospital and Dr. Dan Drehas. Please understand that the views and opinions expressed by the participants of the program are not necessarily those of the management, employees, or advertisers of this radio station. The number to call is 263-8600. And now, back to Dr. Dan the Animal Man.
We are back. This is Dr. Dan Drehas, Dr. Dan the Dental Vet Man. How about that? At least for the next month or so. If you listened in the first half of the show or just tuning in, it is National Pet Dental Healthcare Month in February. And we always start a little bit early in January, start giving our promotions and discounts and all that kind of stuff and awareness. And I did bring my axe. And it's a song I've changed for a Laser Vet Can Survive, and I performed this a while back, but here's A Dental Vet Can Survive. Dog has a smell wafting from his mouth, like a north end of a skunk that's walking south. And you can't stand it another day. The nasty plaque and tartar gotta go away. Well, I work here in Muscatine, and we can get those teeth sparkling clean. Where our dental technicians have lots of pride, a dental vet can survive. I can scale and polish and replane too, and too many things these licensed techs can do. I extract bad teeth and place gingival flaps, but I don't do root canals and I don't place caps. Our ultrasound cleaner takes half the time. A dental vet can survive. A dental vet can survive. Now we don't use a chisel or a hacksaw blade. Got some fine equipment that I am 3 made. I'd use dental blocks and Novocaine, and when he wakes up he won't be in pain. Come from Wilton and East Moline and towns all around Muscatine. 'Cause we do dentals with care and pride. A dental vet can survive. A dental vet can survive. A dental vet can survive. Hey, how about that? We made it through. A dental vet can't survive. Oh, putting the thing up, leaning against the wall. So we are talking about dental health care, and that kind of summed it up. That smell like a skunk rear end.
I
always like that line.
I always have to think about that. The north end of a skunk walking south. Which,
that's a visual.
Yeah.
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
So what we're promoting, and you're all veterinarians. There's not a vet clinic around the country that doesn't do something. And just like all those, what we're promoting at Riverside is just like everybody else, a discount to try to encourage you to come in. So we will take 10% off your dental procedure, cleaning, extractions, Novocaine, all that kind of stuff, everything but the blood work. Hopefully you've done that beforehand at an annual checkup, so whether you need it or not, but 10% off, which, dentals, you have to understand, if you've never had one before, cats and dogs just don't sit there and like open their mouth and go, ah, like we do. First of all, they're a little anxious. They're not quite sure what's going on, so we have to anesthetize them. So to do that, we may or may not need some blood work depending on their age to make sure it's safe. So we want to make things safe, especially the older ones that have some disease, and we want to make sure that infection hasn't already affected their kidney and liver, and adjust our anesthesia. So because of that, a dental procedure, depending on which clinic you're at, can go between $200 and, if it's a good healthy one, but we've had some $800, $900 with a bunch of extractions, flaps, fillings, and all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to avoid those expensive ones, folks, by getting them clean at the less expensive level, if you're trying to budget for that. And so knocking 10% off, between $20 and $50 off for that. In addition to that, if you're not quite sure, gosh, what's it going to cost me, you don't want to schedule it, come in for a free estimate. If it sounds like a auto mechanic, So call us at Riverside, and 264-0761. You can look us up, stop down, call us up, and we can just do a quick little tech visit in the back. It's not an exam, so we're not going to do a full exam. We're just going to have a veterinarian, myself or Dr. Kula, will look at it in the back and tell the technicians, it looks like no extractions. We can be the lower end. Looks like there may be a couple, may need blood work, so we can get you that estimate if you're curious. Now, if you know you want to do that, you can always just schedule it, and we can give you the estimate before we proceed. But we just worry about scheduling that, and then you not realizing we have to take a bunch of teeth out. It's going to be the expensive end, and then not stay for that dental. So we try to give you an idea of what's going on first. So we're more than happy during this month to give that free look at your cat's mouth, or dog's mouth, to get a little bit of an idea. Now, sometimes we can be surprised. It looks on the outside, or worse yet, the animal won't let you look in the mouth. So that's where I go to my story about my dental yesterday. I just did dental on the cat yesterday, and I could tell there was some waft coming from the cat's mouth, but he was one of those hissy, gonna bite me if I put my finger in the mouth, and you could see some periodontal disease back there. So we did the dental yesterday, and we at Riverside, we always try to make sure we have consent and communication with the owner. So if we do have a surprise, we can contact them. So we do have a little form that says, no matter what, Dr. Dan, do whatever. I don't care. I want to make my dog's or cat's mouth healthy, which is the best thing. We have some that people say, you know what, I'm on a strict budget, just stick with the cleaning. If there's extractions, don't do it, and you have to sign that off. Or the third one, which is, hey, if you find something that we didn't expect, give me a call first so that I can okay that. If you do decide on that, we always say, if we can't get a hold of you, we're going to go ahead and do it anyway, because we don't want to have to wake up and realize, oh, we should have, and have to schedule another time. Well, that's what happened yesterday, and it was great. The owner was happy. They signed the thing that says, hey, give me a call first. If you don't get a hold of me, go ahead and proceed. And that cat that was hissy and knew had some teeth that need to be cleaned, we found the one that was rotten, like I described earlier, so it pulled out easily. And I actually did a dental x-ray. We now have that capability at Riverside. And I discovered, and it was a great, not a good surprise, but a great thing to do. So we're going to do more of these dental x-rays, which are only like $35 for a whole mouth x-ray. I discovered there's about 4 other teeth that looked perfectly good on the outside because you see the crown, but the x-ray showed below the gum line, it was eroding. It was like there was a big, huge cavity under the gum line. So no wonder that cat didn't want you to touch his mouth, was painful, was ornery. He was painful. All this time he had some basically big, what we call resorptive lesions underneath the gum line that you couldn't tell, but the dental x-ray showed us that. It also showed us that, unfortunately, the fang teeth, I talked about the eroding and going like your basement or whatever. It was eroding the canine teeth. So we took those out. That looked perfectly good. Didn't even have any periodontal disease. You couldn't hardly tell, but it was just extruding like that. So we discovered some things from the dental x-ray we would not have discovered otherwise. So those are the things we're starting to do now, realizing, we're doing a better job at helping these animals feel better. Owner was tickled. I couldn't get a hold of him, so we proceeded. And once we showed her the x-rays and the teeth that we extracted, they were just happy as all get out. It was more than we thought. and that cat with about five extractions is about $350 with the discount. So, and with blood work and all that kind of stuff too. So very tickled. The cat should be much happier. And even taking out some of those big teeth in the back, it'll probably even still chomp on food, hard food, once it heals up. So we can do a lot of good on helping that cat. And of course, the sad thing is, owner is like, oh my gosh, how long has my cat been in pain? I didn't even realize that. So we're trying to encourage that now. So if you have a little gum redness along the gum line of your cats, there may be more going on below that. So we're going to start recommending doing more of these dental x-rays because we're finding some stuff out. So again, it's Dental Health Month. February, we're starting these discounts now. So December and January are typically slow because of the weather outside right now. So instead of packing and having all these dentals and cleanings every day in February, we're starting those now. Okay. So give us a call, Riverside now. We'll do that. We may even have a little bit of a surprise with the Aura Vets to go home with. So speaking of going home with, because we got a couple minutes left, home care. Some things to consider, starting now as the puppies and whatever. But especially after you've had them cleaned, there's nothing worse than you get them cleaned 2 months later, not do anything, and they're right back to where you started. Cleaning the teeth doesn't mean it's going to stay that way forever. Although we do have some people that can't do anything or won't do anything, and then we just do a cleaning every year. That's great. It keeps them clean and slows things down. But there are some things we can do. Teeth brushing is still the gold standard. We brush our teeth. They say the average human does it at least 1 to 1.5, I think, times a day, which means some don't at all, some 3 times a day, but I think 1.5. It was on the website I saw that, whereas animals are not at all, are very, very few. But if trained properly over a few weeks and start as puppies, that can be done, and it's a very, very good thing to do. Rawhides, if used properly, I know there's some vets don't like them, some do. I know even my own Dr. Kula is a little bit lenient about those, because rawhides and like these greenie chews and Aura Vet chews that we have, you have to watch your dog and observe that they do it properly. there is a proper way to do that, and that means you chew it over a few minutes, over 10 minutes. If they're one chomp, two chomp, gone, like how many licks to the center of a pop, Tootsie Pop, whatever. If they just chomp it and down the hatch, then you have this potential foreign body, that's going to swell and not digest very well. They have to actually chew on it. First of all, you're not doing any good. You're wasting your money on these products, and they're not doing any good. Once they chew on them, the rawhides and these things, they physically scrape up the gum line and work up the gum line and physically do that. The Oravets, which is why we like those, not only that they physically chew and scrape up the gum line, but there's a little like a scope in there, so it disinfects and kills the bacteria in addition to scraping it. So that's why we love that product, and we recommend that. There are some like rope toys, if they use them properly for the bigger dogs. Ropes, they get their teeth up in between those fibers of the ropes and stuff like that. Now, if they're chewing them and swallowing them and gulp and somehow doing that, you may not want those. There are some awesome like rubber toys that have, you put like peanut butter or stuff in there, and it has like grooves in there, so as they're chewing on it, their teeth scrape up those grooves. Those are really pretty good too. So a lot of things at home we can do to help out with those. So things to consider at home. Again, the best thing you can do is really go to your vet every year. Have them make sure during their routine annual health exam, look at those teeth, give you their estimate, their evaluations, get an estimate, and get those teeth cleaned once a year, and be aware of what's going on with your animal. This cat, like I told you, it wasn't until afterwards and told him, she told me, you know what? I noticed my cat wasn't chewing her food; she was just swallowing it down. Do we have a?
That's 1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute. He said, hold on, Jordan says. So to recap, today's is National Pet Dental Month in February. We at Riverside, give us a call, 264-0761. Look at our website. We'll have some links, and check our Facebook out if you haven't liked us on Facebook. RiversideVet.com. We'll have some links, some information, but 10% off. Obviously, if you want to swing in for a quick estimate on that, and we'll get you some little token treats to help start that out afterwards to continue the clean, fresh, non-polecat smelling rear end mouth going south. But until then, this is Dr. Dan, the Animal Man. We will see you in a couple weeks.
KWPC K236CF Muscatine. Available everywhere you go. Download our free mobile app.